Hey, Joey Blue here, and I want to talk about the count function. So the count function will give you a count of different things. In this case, the first one I want to run is we're going to look at the employee table. And we know there's 14 records there, but we're just going to say count star. I use this a lot of times to see how many records are in a table. And so we've got 14 records in that table. So the count will just count the number of records. Now there's a couple of other things we can do with it though. We could filter, in this case where job equals clerk. And since it's a string, we want to put ticks around it. We'll execute that. And so we know there's 4 rows, but if we put a count star, it would tell us there's 4 rows. So maybe there's 100,000 and we can't just visually look at it. And the count star would help us there. So we filtered that. Now let's go ahead and get rid of our filter. Let's go check out our table again. And what I want to do this time is I want to know how many different jobs there are. So let's first do count job. Okay. And I get 14. Well, is that the right answer? 14 different jobs. What did it just do there? So let's look at the whole table. What it did was looked for columns that actually had a value. Well, all of these rows have a value for job. So what we really want to do is we want to know what distinct jobs are there. And the way you do that is use the count function with a distinct clause. Distinct job. So now it'll count and give us the distinct jobs. So if we execute that, we've got 5. So let's go back and verify that we know what that's doing. If we look at jobs, there's a clerk, that's 1. There's a salesman, that's 2. There's a manager, that's 3. There's an analyst, that's 4. And a president, that's 5. So there's 5 distinct jobs. So now let's just do a count of this manager field and see what happens. So if we execute that, we only get 13. But there's 14 rows in our table. So what is happening there? Well, in this case, it doesn't count null values. And so it throws that out and only counts the 13 records that actually have a value. Same thing will happen over here on commission. If we do a count of commission, you can see there's quite a few nulls here. And since I probably didn't spell that right, there we go. And so we got actually 4 people that have a commission. And so that is an introduction into the count function within the SQL language.